Hi everyone, this video is going to give you some really useful hacks for guitarists. Stick around to the end because whether you're a beginner or a really advanced player, there's something here for everyone. The first tip is this: lube your nut. Guitars can go out of tune for all sorts of reasons, but one of the main reasons, one of the prime reasons I see so often is a problem here with the nut. And what you can do is to lubricate the strings instead of them getting stuck on those little imperfections, is to simply use graphite from a pencil. Just pull the strings out, draw in the slot, and you're good to go. And sometimes you may notice when you haven't done this, your guitar makes a little tinging noise when you tune the strings. And what happens there is the string gets caught in the imperfections, suddenly it slips through, and that's the tinging noise, and then the guitar's completely out of tune. Lube the nut and that won't happen. The next tip is a great way of storing your cables but also making them tidier on stage. Instead of using little strips of Velcro, which I find quite fiddly, you can use a releasable cable tie like this one. All you do is press the little button on it and the cable tie comes off. You can use it again and again and again. A bonus tip is when you are tidying up your cables on stage, be careful not to have power cables and signal cables alongside each other. Sometimes you'll get away with it, but you can get induced noise, in which case have them 90 degrees to each other. True story, a few years ago I was teaching a kid guitar and I was pointing to the music sheet and went to turn the page, and as I did so my strap pinged off, the guitar slid round between my legs like this, and the pointy bit of my very pointy Ibanez guitar smacked me in the face and split my lip open. The kid found it hilarious of course, but I had to go and get 3 stitches put in my lip. Henceforth I've always used strap locks. Now I use these Jim Dunlop ones because they're great, they don't have any nuts that can actually come off. You could of course just use a washer, but the great thing about removable strap locks like this is I can have one strap for many guitars and quickly just attach them like this. This next tip is an old favourite of all professional musicians, but when you plug your guitar in on stage like this, it's very easy to accidentally tread on the lead and pull the cable out in the process. All you do to stop that happening is thread the guitar cable through your strap, put it there like that, and now should I tread on it, nothing happens. You may find yourself sometimes doing a gig where you need to mic up the amplifier. You might need more volume, you might need a better monitor mix, or you might just be recording yourself. And the old favourite of course is the SM57 and a stand like this. The problem is you can knock this stand over and the mic itself can cause feedback. Instead you can use something like this. This is a Palmer DI box, and it's a special one because it's got a speaker simulator built into it. I simply plug the power output of my amplifier into this and then go out again into the speaker. I then take an XLR cable to the desk and there's a speaker simulator in this, and it does a surprisingly good job. Even Joe Bonamassa has a signature version of this. You can even stick this on the end of a preamp or pedal board and go straight into the PA system. It's no secret that these days many people take an amp modeler to a gig as a backup rather than having to carry another amplifier. If your amplifier dies, you just get your modeler, like this one, out of your bag, plug it in and go straight into the PA system and you're good to go. Now this is a Line 6 HX Stomp. It's fantastic, I've used it for recordings and all sorts of things. However, there are cheaper options like this Sans Amp Character Blonde pedal. Now I've used this countless times on recordings. I've even been saved in a wedding gig where my amplifier was playing up. It runs off batteries, it's very low power consumption, it's reliable, you can stick it on the end of your pedal board and it takes pedals really well. Now this particular model is obsolete, there are newer ones, but you can get these second-hand really cheap. There's also even cheaper clones. However, in my experience, and I have compared them side by side, there is a difference, not just in tonal quality, but also in the feel. So if you're going to have a backup, make sure it's rock solid and reliable. Recently I saw Scott Henderson play at a local venue, and I noticed that he had a pedal on his board, much like this one, a looper. He didn't actually use it in the show, but apparently he uses it for sound checking. So he puts a little loop into the pedal and then wanders off and has a listen. Now you could do that of course with a wireless system, however you'd have to spend a lot of money on a very good one to get the same sonic fidelity you do with this. This small but extremely powerful magnet is used by musicians to stop their music sheets from blowing off the stand. So for example, in an outdoor gig, I can put this here on my sheets and they won't go anywhere. You can even use it to attach your set list or your cheat sheet to the back of any metal surface. One other hack that I must admit I've never tried myself, but I'm thinking about it because I've heard good things, is you use an EQ pedal as a kind of problem solver. Let's say you want to ring out a bad sounding venue. You can find the offending frequency and then just pull it out. You can even use these as solo boosters by boosting the volume and or the mids. You can also use it to sort of roughly approximate single coils when you're using humbuckers and vice versa. It's not perfect, but it gets you through the gig without having to bring an extra guitar. Imagine yourself doing a gig and you really want to film it, but you've got no way of supporting your camera because you've left your tripod stand at home. Simple hack, you get your phone and you get a capo like this. You attach the capo there and this thing will now stand perfectly on any surface. Thanks for watching. I hope some of those tips and tricks were useful too. I'd love to hear some of your ideas. Feel free to put them in the comment section. Anyway, you'd be doing me a great service if you could click like and subscribe. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.